everybody, and welcome to another episode of Aurogiri. Here I am, standing on a house, because I am absolutely, just perplexed by the absolute state of what happened to Onigiri Steam yesterday. I woke up, and I went on Twitter, like any horrible person would do in the morning, as soon as they open their eyes. And Onigiri posts something. I'm like, oh, okay, cool, it's all in Japanese. So the JP Onigiri posted it. Alright, let's go check that out. Translate. Oh! What the fuck is going on? Okay, so you open up this thing, and it says, oh, we updated the game. Okay, I'm like, alright, let me go look at this update. Because whatever Steam gets, we get like a week or two later, and updates have been delayed for a week. What's going on there? And I wanted to find out what's going on. I'm like, what's the new update? What's coming out? We have this Akechi update prolonged. I want to know what's coming. And why is things delayed? Why did they throw things at me? Hey Daniel, how you doing? It's not that, but it's just the consequences of some people's actions. So, basically, I open up the tweet, and it's basically saying that for the English Steam Onigiri players, and this is a fair distinction, because this does not affect JP players on Steam, to my knowledge. We logged into Steam this morning and we saw Bazaar. Why does that matter? We're going to elaborate. So, welcome everyone, welcome. Some people are like, oh my god, an Onigiri video, it's been forever, what's he been doing? Oh, but something made me come out of my cave and talk about something today. Oh my god. Right. So, people know about it. Hey Star, how you doing? People know what's going on. Okay, so I open up this tweet, and I translate it, and it calls Onigiri Onizan, and I'm like, okay, whatever, let me read this. And it says that, basically, hey guys, we're doing an update, and because the mic quality's bad, what can I do about that? Cracky? Is it better now? Is it just me that's bad quality? Before I get into this, I need to get this solved. I got these little dials and knobs next to my ear. Maybe that does something. Let me know if it gets any better. It's better now? Alright. Okay, cool. Thank you for saying that. Thanks. Alright. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Aurogiri. Here we are today, standing on top of this building, and we're going to talk about something. And we're going to talk about the absolute state of fucking Steam Onigiri. Thanks for telling me about the mic quality. Appreciate it. Starting again. So, that's fine. At least it's quality. Anyway, so it's better than some things we're going to talk about today. So yesterday I woke up, booted up Twitter, looked at that, like, oh my god, okay. Onigiri, wow, the JP things are posting something, and it's not just a generic copy-paste for every time an update comes out. Cool! Let me go look at that. Alright, it's all Japanese. Let me translate that. Let me read this. And I'm not going to have it up in front of me. I'm going to read everything. I'm going to reiterate stuff verbatim, because I understand what happened. Their words don't truly matter so long as we get to the point. Basically, I wanted to find out, like, hey, maybe this has something to do with why the updates were delayed on both consoles for a week, and why they extended it, gave us dungeon campaign, why Akechi's still here, why Purg has lasted 3 weeks. Things are really weird. Maybe there's some writing on the wall there. What's going on? Are they cooking something good? Is the summer update just gonna be a blast and everyone's gonna be happy? No! Check chat? Okay, let me try. What's wrong with the chat? The fuck's that? What? I don't want to download an update for Onigiri or for YouTube. Oh, shit. Let me see here. I have to click on something. I have to hit the minus button. Thank you, Daniel. Oh my god. Thanks, buddy. 10 Darunos. Wow. That's awesome. I already had my pizza today, but just you wait. We'll get some pizza together soon. Remember last time? I did buy you guys pizza. Remember? I did. The prophecy came true. We all hung out to watch that movie there. We were watching, Star Wars? And I bought us all pizza. Remember? It was all half price of Domino's, and I did it. That finally happened. I didn't even think about it, but the prophecy did come true. It's half price Domino's again, right now, this week. It is, actually. But yeah, it did finally come true. It was like $70. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, we'll talk about that later. But right now, we can't talk about our dessert before we talk about the broccoli and rotten fucking vegetables on our plate that we bought ourselves from the store, put them in the fridge. No, we put them on the counter, let them rot, and then said, man, our food sucks. We got to talk about that. Right. Okay, so, story goes. I checked the tweet. I want to find out what's going on. They say the update's coming, and unfortunately, because some of you guys can't play the game as intended, and they word this very, like, I don't know if the wording is, if the phrase is tongue-in-cheek, or like bluntly, or like, like when you're trying to be professional, but you're also like fucking mad. Like you see this in anime all the time, where they like slam the table and they stare at them with this evil eyes and that forced smile, and they say, all right, you little fucking shit, because you can't swear in a classroom, and you're like a teacher, and you're like, listen here, Timmy, I know you can do whatever you want, but right now I want to do something that you won't like, but I can't. Anyway, that's that kind of perspective they're portraying, where they would like to say all the nice little flavorful words to use, and they can't. But basically, because at the end they say please, they don't even say please. Like last time, there was another update for Steam where people were doing things bad, and they were like calling people out. Like, this isn't the first time. So basically what they said is that you guys, the Steam players, I'm not going to say you guys as in just like a select group of players, Steam is losing bazaars because people are exploiting them to undercut the company that makes the game that people play, like on the regular. Okay? So we're going to get into that sooner or later. So basically they said, because you guys are abusing bazaars to undercut us, you're losing that privilege, because it's not a right, it's a privilege. When PS4 started, we didn't have bazaars for 2 years because PlayStation didn't like them. They didn't like the implications that were there, because PlayStation's very anti-fucking free marketplace economy. They don't like that shit. They want you to buy things for their price and nothing else. Going forward, we've already lived in that game state. We were jealous of Xbox forever. So what's happening is computer, Steam, whatever, PC, whatever you want to call it. Steam Onigiri, the English side, the North American side, the English side, I guess, because it's not the JP side. The JP side, they're chill. They're like unaffected by this. So what's happening is Steam is losing bazaars. The update dropped this morning, I think, for the game. And you can no longer access bazaar listings, I do not think. And you can no longer drop a stall. You can create a bazaar, but you cannot put it on the ground, I'm pretty sure. And this comes from essentially people using a third-party site. You can't, okay. This comes from people using a third-party site to buy OC from. That, like, for really, really cheap. So let's say you wanted like 1,000 OC, you could get it for like $10 or something like that. That's to what I understand. Yeah, it's called the Gold AA, whatever it is. It's basically just a guy who sells crack for cheap. Anyway, that's my understanding of it. So yeah, there's this I don't know, backwater company, whatever, bootleg drug dealer called that sells OC, because everyone's addicted to OC, and it's OCD. But anyway, yeah, I know. Hey, John, how you doing? The Gold AA basically would offer a service to where they say, hey, you want OC in this 10-year-old game that I don't know why they're going after. I know why, because they could do it, but I don't know why they're doing it. Like, you see these ads on Facebook. I see them all the time. Facebook, Twitter. They'll be like, hey, buy some Primo Gems for less than, buy 8,000 Primo Gems for, I don't know, 1/3 the price, whatever. Like, I see these ads all the time, and you don't do them. They're just scams. They're just people saying, oh, this game's popular. Hey, like, anything that doesn't touch the official source or is not officially adopted by the company, don't go towards it. And if there was an official way, no, trust me completely, if there was an official way for us to get like discounted OC by like being a subscriber to like Amazon Prime or Netflix or Disney Plus or some stupid thing that was actually legit, I would be telling you guys about it. I'm not saying don't trust anything unless Oro says it, but believe me when I say that if there was a way that I could save everybody $5 on every OC purchase they do, I fucking would. Because if people were saving money, they would buy more OC. They would buy more OC. Was saying something about lunar leaves, but they don't make money off that. You can't make money off lunar leaves. Like, you can't even. Is there a new event? There'll be a new event on Steam. There's a new event on Steam today. Our new event will come next week. Hey, Davey, how you doing? Good to see you. So, that's what's happening, and I'm going to explain how it happens and why it uses bazaars. So basically, and it doesn't even, it's not like, when I found out about this yesterday, I went on to the Discords and I asked people about it, and I had really good conversations with people I know about Oni, and we had conversations, and they explained it all. And they said, this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. And I said, okay, I understand. Thank you. I didn't know this was happening. So basically what's happening was that people caught wind of this gold AA system or whatever. This is not a shutdown news about Steam. Okay, I'll put that out for you right now, John. This is not, there's no shutdown Steam news at all. This is not about a shutdown. This is about the consequences of people's actions. So the only thing that's shut down is because is the bazaar system for the English players. They have lost the right, or not the right, they have lost the privilege to use bazaars. They're gone. They've been removed. They tried it. Nope. Wasn't working. We opened the doors and people started stealing. Anyway, so let's explain how this happens before I just talk shit and just get mad. Okay? So, very simply, and it's one of those things where if you like explain a crime, more people will do it. And that's why people don't explain how to build nuclear bombs and shit like that. Right? So, yeah. So it's already a decade since it's been happening. So he's saying that when Star says that, he's right. He is right. Because there are people that'll sell OC in the game for real money. Yeah. You guys want story time? Okay. So remember when when Intern Kun made a big fucking mistake and they gave everyone paid OC to like their account? Everyone got 1,000 OC. It's supposed to be free OC, but everyone got 1,000 paid OC to every account in Onigiri because they were so happy with us being like a good community and having like 5 million downloads or something like that. Remember that? And this would have been at least 5-6 years ago now. I think Tempest had just come out. It was around that time. Because I was selling a Tempest and people had OC. They were like, oh my god, I want to buy your Tempest. I'm like, okay, sure. And, yeah. So, this is what led to the downfall of regular PC, okay? This is the story time. So, on PC, people had like a shit ton of like dummy accounts. It was around 2017, 2018? Maybe. I remember Oda was out, because at that time I rolled and got Oda or something. Intern Kun was cooking. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Butterfly, how you doing? But yeah, 18 viewers, how you guys doing? You guys know what's going on. Regular video, I don't care. Oh, fuck, the absolute state of Steam. Let's go. Okay, so, so back then, they gave everyone 1,000 OC, and we had bazaars. So what did that mean? 1,000 OC was bazaarable. Everyone had just gotten their, what was that fucking shit? Like, they had gotten their rebate, their big fucking tax return of $1,000, right? And the retweet, yeah, we never reached that 5,000 retweet. No, we did not. Hey guys, thanks for 5 million downloads. On the other hand, no, we get like 2,000 retweets. That's it. Anyway, so yeah, back then everyone got 1,000 OC, and it was stimulus check. That's exactly what it was. The stimulus check. That's right. Thank you. I was trying to think what it was. They had one in COVID, whatever the fuck that was. They were sending that out to everybody. Stimulus check. That's right. Oh my god, that's a dehumidifier because it's getting fucking hot in here. I gotta go shut that shit off. I swear those things turn on automatically, which is illegal. Fuck, if my, like, printer turned on automatically, I'd shoot it. What the fuck is that? Anyway. Okay, so, yeah, so everyone got 1,000 OC, but the problem was that a lot of people on PC had a bunch of dummy accounts, so everybody got their OC. So, like, some people had, like, 30, 40 dummy accounts in case something ever happened, because one thing came out once, right? That's all it takes, is one thing came out once that was really good, so they made a whole bunch of different accounts. Like, if they get, let's say, like, early game, they gave everyone a legendary ticket, and you were re-rolling accounts, if you had 40 accounts that were made before they gave that out, because usually they don't just give it out to anyone that just starts, you would have 40 chances to re-roll to try and get, like, Makami or something like that, or whatever, right? And you'd try to, like, min-max the account. You'd roll all the accounts to try and get the best one and then roll with it, right? It's standard practice for games. Like, Wuthering Waves, perfect example. They just gave everybody, like, 2 5-star selectors and, like, 40 free pulls and, like, I think 60 or 80 free pulls to every new account, which made everyone start playing it. But, yeah, like, that was a perfect example. Like, I didn't play it until they said, hey, you get a free 5-star. Okay, all right, I'm down. And now I'm playing it a lot. No update for that came out today. Right. So point is, because Jinzy's out today. I'm saving for Chun-Li, whatever her name is, Phoenix Himiko lady. Anyway. So yeah. So because it was supposed to be free OC, you cannot pass free OC from one player to another. But what happened was it was all paid OC, and paid OC is bazaarable. So what happened was everybody that had these dummy accounts, they just made their bazaars on those accounts. Like, if you had, let's say you had 2 computers, let's just be real here. Let's say you had 2 computers or your mom's laptop or whatever that could run Onigiri for like a minute or 2 minutes, whatever. And you put down the stall on that dummy account, or you don't even put down the stall. You put down your stall on your main account, and you put down a friendship item for 1,000 OC, or, you know, basically just a burner item that's worthless. No one in their right mind is going to buy that paperback for 1,000 OC. You're safe. You don't need to lock the bazaar. You don't need to go to, like, some shady part of, like, the backwater of the moon to do it. You just put it down, because if someone buys that paperback, great. Whatever. I'll just put another one down. Anyway, you put down the paperback for 1,000 OC. Someone buys it. And someone buys it for 1,000 OC off the dummy account, and you then receive what's left after Cybercept takes the tax off, so 30%. So you're left with 700 bazaarable OC on your account. And then, let's say you have 40 accounts of this, you just keep doing it. So let's say you had 40. Like, realistically, most people would have, like, maybe 5 or 10, but some people had, like, 40, 50, like a fuck ton. I saw the pictures. They had like 50 KOC. I saw that shit. You guys remember, right? All the PC Onigiri players that would stream all the time. Like, I remember Scarlet Onigiri and stuff like that. So, right after that shit happened, all their streams would put this little black bar over their OC number. They would put this little black bar over their money and OC. And it was just like, why are they doing that? Because I had no idea why they were doing that. And I would watch their content. They'd do a run, but they would have, like, their black tape over their fucking camera, basically. Yeah, exactly. 40 alts. Yeah, it would be 29. Yeah, exactly. Just, you know, I'm talking hyperbole for sure. But it did happen. Right, it is what it is. It was what it was. Because they weren't having that shit. So, basically, people I remember it was when 150 Sasuke came out. Or no, that was a different time. But I remember, like, people did this, and they just sold all themselves their OC, and then they hid their OC. But nowadays, like, it's really funny, because if you go to settings now, it's in there. You just shut that shit off. Be like, where is it? Money panel. Like, you can just be, I don't know how much OC I have. You know, it's just invisible. Like, it's there. Now it's a feature. Before it was a crime, now it's a feature. Like, you know, got nothing to hide, whatever. So, point is, I remember when that happened, and, you know, people that you're not going to not take advantage of that, right? Like when the company gives everyone 10,000 or 1,000 paid OC and doesn't do a rollback within like a day, like it's really hard to do rollbacks in Onigiri. They did a rollback once, and it was like last year, and it was bullshit because people farmed for like a weekend and then lost everything. Yes, that's right. The reason they did this was back then you could get free OC from watching ads, and people would just run like 40 tabs on their computer, different accounts, alts, whatever, incognito mode, get all your things going. You used to be able to get OC watching ads, and that was before really, you couldn't do that on PlayStation, so it was kind of out of my time. It was when Ignis first came out. Really? Ignis? Maybe. Did people just start getting a bunch of 150 Lancelots? Like, that would, if you said it was 150 Lancelot, I would believe it. Because I remember, like, there was a whole bunch of, like, 150 Lancelot, like, content that came out. Because people just had a bunch of OC. It was so much ads. Wow. Cool. Nice. Alright. Yeah. So, case in point, everyone did that. I remember, when it happened, I asked my friend, I said, hey, you don't play Onigiri anymore, right? And he's like, no, I don't. He's like, I won't play it again. I said, okay. I said, they gave everyone 1,000 OC. I'm like, do you want to give it to me? He's like, yeah, sure. I'm never going to use it. And that was fine. It's like your buddy has an account. He's not going to use it. Yeah, just give me that. Sure. So that's like one thing. So what happened at that point was that people had so much OC because they took advantage of a good situation that they, what was it? People just had so much money that they didn't have to buy anything anymore. And then on PC, they released pergs eventually, and people had so much OC that they just had to do 25 runs of like the Dragon Arc pergs. And then they got the Dragon Arc Ogies, and the Dragon Arc Ogies, this is Cyberchef's fault for making the Dragon Arc Ogies good. When we got the Dragon Arc Ogies on PS5, PS4, they were not as good. When they first initially dropped, they did damage cap a tick times 10, and you could do that on a storm with the Gakaho Ugi. It was bullshit. It was so good that people didn't need to get Vanguards. It power crept like their whole monetization system by releasing something that only took 25 runs to get, which is like 150 OC, like to put that in fucking perspective. And, people just got so power crept, they got so strong, they had so much OC, they didn't have to buy anything anymore, and things just got out of hand and PC flown away. Anyway, story time, that's done. Good, thanks for getting me back on track, Ekiden. Thank you. Okay, so the absolute state of Steam is that they've lost their bazaars because people went to this Gold AA thing. Gold AA was advertising, we'll give you 1,000 OC for like $13, okay? And so basically you would like PayPal them or Venmo them or whatever the fuck, deliver it on carrier pigeon, whatever, $13, and what they would do, and it's very simple because there's Gold AA, but as Star said, people have been doing this for years because it's just a process that is exploitable by the bazaar. So basically, player A makes a dog shit burner account for Steam, which is really easy to do because you don't need to like go through all these hoops and shit like you do with PlayStation. You could do it on PlayStation, but you have to make a PlayStation account. You do this, got to link email, got to all this shit. Anyway, it's a lot easier to do burner accounts on PC on Steam because there's less hoops to jump through. So you make a burner dummy ass account. You load into that account, you go to the tutorial, you like leave dungeon if you want, whatever, beat Tiamat. Then you go to the bazaar, you go to the Nyan Koropan, you buy 1,000 OC or whatever they want you to buy. You buy 1,000 OC, 2,000 OC, 3,000 OC, whatever. And then the other person, like, you buy it on that account, and then the other person PayPals you the money or whatever. And then what they do is you put down a bazaar for a friendship item for whatever the price is you're looking for. They buy it off you, and then you get 70% of whatever that value is added to your account as bazaarable OC. And then what they do is they charge back their credit card and like delete the account, saying they didn't want to make those purchases, and they charge back. That's why like chargebacks are really, really, really bad. Okay.
because I remember like there was that big charge back thing that happened on Steam because people like hacked it or whatever. Like it's very possible to do, and people had negative OC. So then Cyberstep's answer to that was people had negative OC, and they said, well, you can't use OC until you like reset that negative. And what happened was people that played Steam Onigiri got their money back directly to their account because it was a big chargeback thing, whatever. And then people just like said, fuck, I'm not putting that in Onigiri, I'm gonna put that somewhere else. Some people did, some people put it back. Anyway, so that's basically what happened. So person A buys something, person buys OC, person B, the actual player, puts out an item worth that much, the person A buys it, they get the dividends, and then they delete the account and charge back the account. They don't care about the negatives, and then they move on. Rinse and repeat. That is how Gold AA works. Okay? Very simple process. And that's enabled because of the bazaars. So, like Star said, this has been going on for a long time. But the problem with covert operations that go on for a long time is that you run into people who cannot shut their mouth. And I'm not saying this, oh, you ruined it for everybody. No, it's just how it is. Some people be like, oh my God, this is so good to be true. Everybody should go to the grocery store because on Tuesdays they have buy a whole chicken, get one free. And no one knows about this. And then everyone knows about this. And then you can't get it anymore. Or things, the prices go up or whatever, like it just an example. That's just how things go. So the more and more popular it gets, because I was talking to people and people said, oh, a lot of people do that. Oh yeah, I know someone that does that. Oh yeah, that does this and so on, so on, so on. So, and there's a very, very adept metaphor that refers to like, oh, I don't know how this could happen, is that people say that no single snowflake feels responsible for the avalanche they are a part of. Right? It's like the same thing with, that is what it is. So, one person does it, okay, whatever. Two people do it, whatever. One person does it, whatever. No, so that guy was just charge backing his card or something and then just spamming Onigiri? So that guy was just charge backing his card or something, then just spamming it and Onigiri couldn't stop it? Maybe so. Now, I'm not 100% sure on the particulars of the method. What I said is how I understand it to be done because it logically makes sense. And the whole point, and Star has a point at the end there, that they couldn't stop it. That's the main thing, is that they couldn't stop it. Because of the systems they made in the game with bazaars, they could not stop it. Right, exploiting the system. Yeah. So the Gold AA thing. And that's my point too. It's kind of stupid because the game, Davey, that's a great point. It's kind of stupid because the game doesn't have that many players in it, and like people are doing it. Right. So the people that are doing it are, how I should say, in my own flock. Like, you're my guys. We're part of the same clan here, the Onigiri people, and there's people within the village that are doing this. Right? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, why would you harm the community? So, and there are many reasons for this. Now I got talking with people on Steam, but before I get to that, we're going to finish this point about they couldn't stop it. So whatever reason, Cyberstep couldn't stop this on their end because of the systems at play. Okay, the way Gold AA worked is that they didn't pay a dime for the OC. The person selling it was able to give themselves free OC and in turn sell it. Yeah, true. And then selling it to make money, spends nothing, gets thousands. Hey, Dean, no. As of right now, Steam Onigiri is not shutting down. No. So yeah, so that makes it even worse, because if somebody can hack into Onigiri and generate OC and then sell it to other people via that method, then they're doing it at zero cost to themselves without the risk of incurring credit card fraud or, you know, traceable transactions and things like that. Because my first thought is, like, why don't we just IP ban this fucker, right? Like, if this happened on PlayStation, you IP the fucking PlayStation. You IP ban the PlayStation. Like, you could, like, the one time you don't fucking run your VPN correctly because you're doing it so much and it's 5 a.m. and you're addicted to crack money, like, you're bound to slip up. But it's different that way. So, like, I don't know all the particulars, and I appreciate everyone that wants to bring their knowledge to this up. I appreciate that, because, you know, I don't have all the answers. I don't have all the information. I know what's happening, and I know the current state of things, and we need to talk about it, right? So thank you, everyone. So, right, as of right now, English Steam players cannot put down a bazaar. I think they could buy something from JP players, but they cannot have stuff bought from them. That is to my understanding. Okay? Right. That's my first thought too. Because of this, people can't do stuff. No, Steam players will still be able to buy from Bazaar. They cannot. Exactly. Right. Yeah, exactly. Bazaar listing is gone. Correct. We're all on the same page. Again, thank you. Thank you for coming out. Yeah. So as Davy's first thought is that, so new players can't get the Redux mag now. Correct. So on PlayStation, honest to God, one of Cyberstep's greatest revenue... I know you showed me. I know you showed they didn't have the Bazaar list. I'm just thanking everyone for saying it. I know you did. But my first thought, too, was that new players cannot get the Redux mags. They can't get old stuff. Yeah, like, you could do that. But in this case, they're saying it's somebody that was hacking the game to sell, to input paid OC and then sell it to other players. Right? Because, like, you can't, like, let's say even if you were hacking the game, like, I wouldn't imagine that you couldn't do it to another client. Like, let's say someone could go to, like, my Steam account and just give me, like, $1 billion Steam dollars, right? Like, you'd be like, well, where the fuck did this come from? You know? They could probably trace that or whatever, you know? Like, I don't think they would have that capability to go from A to Z and do that. But it's either A, yeah, they were buying stuff and then selling it and then charging back. Like, that happens all the time in games. Like, that's how they work in other systems. Like, when you see those ads, oh yeah, get free cheap OC, whatever. They do that. They'll buy some and then charge back and then we'll give it to you or whatever. You got information from someone who knew how to do it a year or two ago and said they'd be able to generate themselves OC. Oh, okay. In a way, yes. OG Onigiri without stalls, it built character. I'm going to say that much. As a point, PS4, now that's probably part of PS4 players' resilience and why we don't get shaken up by stuff too much. Like, mining crypto, exactly. Because PS4 players, we were raised with no stars at all, and no stalls at all, and 30 OC restores. We were the most oppressed country, the most oppressed civilization of all Onigiris ever. Our neighbor, Xbox, was like, yeah, we got bazaars, man. We got single player mode. We can re-roll everything. This is awesome. We don't have to pay a dime. And the game gets shut down. How could this happen to me? We've made our mistake. No, exactly. Right? So that happened. It's the same story over and over and over. Right? So, yeah. So before we had stalls, PS4 players did everything ourselves. We farmed Naki Swame Cave for our 105s. I farmed 6 of them fuckers, having to farm Leo and Gemini and all the fucking pineapples and bananas and all that bullshit. Right? Like, we did all that ourselves. We had to do War Bazooka all ourselves. We couldn't just go buy Ronins. We couldn't go buy logs and pressure points and the fuck's that other thing? I don't know. Magic mags, whatever. Everyone gets magic mags all the fucking time. Anyway, we were so used to that, the experience of, we do everything ourselves, that we finally then when we finally did get bazaars, we already had fused. Everyone already had like triple fused accounts at the time. Like Tempest weren't out yet, I think. Like I remember it was a festival when we first got bazaars. Me and my buddy Harai, we were going through town. He's like, we're buying shit up. He's like, oh my god, Oro, there's like a sword fuse. Someone's selling it for 50 OC. I'm like, what? He bought that up. I just bought fucking everything. It was awesome. It was amazing because there was no intrinsic market value yet. Like there was no meta of what cost this or how much this could cost. And it was just a grand festival. It was awesome that time. It was awesome. Because we went from never having it to having it. It's kind of like having a civilization that only ever had TV but never had internet. So like we could see other people use internet on TV, but we could, because we only had cable, but then we never had internet ourselves. And then when we finally got internet, it was like, oh my god, we're just sending all these gifts and all this stuff, and someone found porn for the first time. It was great. It was awesome. You know, that was that sensation. That was kind of what that was like. But as the newer generations of Onigiri players, God bless all of you that you are playing a game that is 10 years old in 2024. Thank you. All of you. You are great. Some of you are in trouble, but the rest of you are great. You know, you're born into an era where bazaars are commonplace. You didn't have to fight for 10 OC restores. PC had to fight for 10 OC restores. We only got 10 OC restores when we merged with JP, so we appreciate them ad infinitum. Whenever someone says, oh, like I in this whole experience of me finding about this error thing, some people said, oh, Onigiri's too expensive. Where I live, money's not that lucrative. Like my currency's not worth that much American, so it's really bad for me to buy OC. And they said, with that money in my country, I could buy food for a week. And which I say, and I was talking to my best friend yesterday about this issue because he plays a shit ton of gacha games too. Way more than I do. And he said, just buy the fucking bread. If you can't afford to play the game, and he said this very clearly to me yesterday, it doesn't matter what the game is. Even if you like the game, if you cannot afford to play it and you want to, play something else. Okay? He just said, plain and simply. He's sitting right next to me yesterday. He said, just play something else. He says, I have no job. I have no income. I can't work right now. He says, what I do, he says, is he fills up his tablet with like a myriad of different gacha games, and he plays them all free to play. And he just goes from one to the other to the other. And if one of them has update and content, he plays it. If it doesn't, he goes to something else. And sometimes he hits big. He said that there was an anniversary for some game last year, and he said that because it was the anniversary, he got the new banner character that was the best character in the game, and through sheer luck, he maxed out the character, and he was a free-to-play god. I think it's Nikkei. He got a character in Nikkei, maxed them out or something. I think that's what he said at their anniversary. And he's been able to do all the content forever. And it's basically like saying, like, hey man, I'm free to play, and they fucked up and put KG on a free banner, and I saved all my OC the whole year, and I have a 5-scroll KG. Like, it'd be like saying that. Right. You have to eat noodles for 3 weeks because you used money on Honkai Star Rail? Yeah, and that's another point I brought up. So I'm going to thank you for bringing that up. So now some people will say, oh, I use Gold AA, or I use this undercutting service because my money doesn't translate that much into the game. It's very expensive for me to buy this stuff. Or I don't have a very high-paying job. I can't afford to do this. Or such and such, I have a family and children. I can't afford to do this. Okay, so the answer is you can't afford to do this. Okay? Like, now what's happening here is people are stealing from Cyberstep. They're stealing from the Onigiri government. Now, petty theft is only, like, quote-unquote tolerable when you're trying to steal bread because you need to steal the bread in order to feed your family because you don't want them to die. You need them to live. Petty theft does not extend to luxury purchases. If somebody goes to the grocery store and they steal a loaf of bread, they will probably let them take the loaf of bread. If somebody goes to the grocery store and they steal 2 lobsters for the same reason at a $50 value, you're going to jail. Okay? It's a luxury item that is way too expensive, and that's like high crime at that point. Like that's not a thing out of necessity. That's like, hey, there's something I really like doing and it costs money, but I can't afford it. What do I do? A, get a job. B, get a better job. C, save up money over long periods of time. D, don't buy the thing. D, do something else. Or E, take a loan. Or, I don't know. F, marry rich. I don't know. But the answer is not steal the luxury item. That's not the answer. And it's very sad because it's a digital product. It's not necessary to your life. It's not necessary to things. Yes, it might keep you sane. It might make you happy. It might produce dopamine in your head. Okay? It might make you feel good. But in a situation where you are forsaking in order to receive this, lefty's good. Anyway, in a situation where you're forsaking all of this in order, like you are stealing to do something, you're stealing to get your hands on something that is not necessary to live, that is an addiction. Straight up, that is an addiction. Gotcha addiction exists. FOMO exists. The feeling of missing out, feeling like you're not going to be good enough unless you don't get the new character. You're going to feel like, I can't play the game unless I get the new character. I can't because I can't because I can't because I can't. And that's bad on the psyche. That exists. Mental illness is real. People have struggles with gacha addiction. People go into debt over these things. Gambling addiction is real. I completely understand that. I do. Does it make it right? No, it doesn't. But it exists. And it's a problem. It's straight up addiction. Like, most of the time, I have never heard of somebody, like, stealing celery from a store. Because, like, celery gives you 0 nutritional value. It tastes like water. It's crunchy water. It's literally negative calories. If you eat it, nothing happens. Okay, you eat it, it tastes good, you put cheese whiz on it, you're getting the cheese whiz calories. Celery has 0 nutritional value. It tastes good, it's crunchy, it's nice, but it gives you 0 value, it gives you no food. If you just ate celery, you're going to die. Okay? That's gotcha games. That's literally any digital product. If you just buy it, if you steal it, you eat it, whatever, it gives you no value. It might be fun to crunch on it, you might like to chew on it for 7 hours and entertain yourself, but eventually it turns into shit and you got nothing else to do. That's gotcha games. Okay. I've never heard of somebody stealing celery. But I have heard of people who need cigarettes because they are addicted steal cigarettes. There's a reason cigarettes are behind the counter at gas stations. And there's a reason that celery is at the fucking front of the store. Because it's there and you can just grab it. Okay? No, there's no fear of that. Okay? So, the point being is that please do not steal money or circumvent your health, your well-being, a comfortable way of life in order to sate your gotcha addictions. You found a couple of videos, really? Celery? I'm not saying it doesn't exist. I just think I've never heard of it. I wouldn't imagine. I was trying to think of something that has 0 nutritional value. Oh, by pets. Oh, okay, yeah. See, they're like, oh shit, that's some good shit right there. Delicacy. Okay, so yeah. So basically, what has happened is too many people were like, hey, Why am I going to spend $100 US in order to get 1,000 OC and not get that one Sublime I want out of the 8? I'm just going to do it for like $10 or $20. Ha ha ha, XD. And then they're going to go to their friends and say, hey man, I got like 30 Sublimes. Oh, how much did that cost you? Oh, like $100. Wow, that's amazing. Wow, you're so cool, Johnny Chadcock. That's awesome. You're the best. Wow, do you want to join my team and we can run Perg? Nah, man, I don't got energy restores for that, bro. I can't do that. And and that's another problem where people are rolling for shit. That's like, Sublimes are the worst thing to ever fucking roll for. Trust me, I've spent like $500-600 trying to get one fucking Sublime, and it's horrible. It's horrible. And then people are like, oh, you want to run something? It's like, no, I don't got restores. Why? Because I rolled it all. I don't have restores. To me, free OC is restores. 90% of the time, free OC is restores. And it creates an alt to use. Exactly. And then paid OC is for rolling, for the most part. That's how I see it. So as I look at my account right now, I have 5,589 OC. Well, to me, that's 558 full restores. That's all that is to me. Unless some of it's paid, then it's not. I don't, Anyway, that's how I see it. So while I was talking to people about this situation yesterday, because I wanted to grab some information first before I just jumped right into it. Yeah, and that's an option too. You could buy the Sublime from the Black Cat with your Rosu tickets. You might be able to get the new Sublime in 3 years. Because if they updated the Black Cat a bit more, it'd be better, for sure. Now, that's another point too. That's another point. So, there is a really famous quote from Gabe Newell. And for those who don't know, Gabe Newell is the guy who made Steam. He made Steam. And he has a really, really good quote about piracy. And I know this isn't piracy, but it's very, very close to it. You're basically pirating DLC. You're pirating... You're undercutting the company on premium DLC or additional funds or microtransactions, macrotransactions, whatever. And he says that piracy is not really... I'm going to break this quote because I'm going to explain it at the same time. But basically, piracy is a service issue. That's basically what he says. And what he means by this is that sometimes people... Now, there are some cases where people will just pirate your game no matter what. And there's nothing you can do about it. They were not going to buy your game anyway. They weren't. They were not going to do it. Like, you can go online and find all these hentai games or little RPG Maker games or whatever. And you can download them. Like, you could go to other websites out there and download full AAA games that get, like, ROM hacked, and you play them on emulators. And Nintendo quashed all that shit this past year because people are doing it too much. It's like, why am I going to buy a Switch when I could just get Yuzu, which is discontinued now, and I'm just going to download that onto my computer and play Breath of the Wild in 60 beautiful FPS and play it for free instead of $89.99 for a game I'm going to enjoy for like 200 to 300 hours. And then, like what? Right? And so there's some people that just never do it. But what they meant by piracy being a service issue is that sometimes things just never go cheaper, or in Oni's case, the rates get worse because the pool gets inflated over time, or they make 16 fucking Sublime banners or Mag banners or whatever that are they're just, I wouldn't touch it with a 30-foot pole. I would not with my money. And it sometimes it reaches a point where it's like, hey, did you get that new Sublime? And it's like, no, because the rates are really dog shit and I don't want to blow $500 on it. Which is a problem. Like, in my opinion, like, they have those Sublime skill card sets, just put them in with the fucking Vanguard. We already roll to get accessories that are, like, in banners. Put the fucking Sublime skill card in the gold banner. Do it. The new Sublimes, put them in the gold. Just do it. Put them there. Do it. Okay, it's way better than... fucking, what did they try to do on the phone? Put Genai and Izuna in there? Fuck. Or Tristan and Sanzo, all them. But yeah, so in some ways, when games do not innovate or games like just are really, really bad or whatever, or it's a service issue, some people just go to the piracy and say, oh, this company's really dog shit, they don't deserve my money. And then they say, well, I'm just going to get it anyway because I want to play it. And it's like, whoa, 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 if they don't deserve your money, why do you want to play it? Like, it's very, very hypocritical in some senses. But anyway, yes. So it would be a lot better. Now, hear me out. I believe in point of purchase. I 100% believe in point of purchase is all that matters in a game at all. Like, if the game lets you buy 1,000 OC, 200,000 OC, 100 OC, whatever, all that matters is the person buying it. For the developer, all that matters is that the person buys it because that money goes into their bank account. What they do with it after the fact should be irrelevant. Now, if what they're doing with it after is like breaking TOS or fucking them over, then they're going to do something about it because you're affecting their bottom line. But other than that, like, if I buy 1,000 OC and I use it to level up, that's my choice. And another player may be like, oh, well, leveling up, that's worthless. Once you're 133 or once you're 128 and you have a Dark Fin, you don't need to spend money anymore in this game. And that's your choice and that's your belief. That's fine. Live your life. I'll live mine. But basically the point is, once you buy the OC, you can do with it what you will, right? All that matters is point of purchase. But lately, a lot of games want you to do things their way. Like, they want you to use your money their way. So, like, you look at, like, other gacha games, and they'll show you their revenue for the month, and they'll demonstrate it based on how much a character earns, like how much Firefly earns, or how much Acheron earns, or how much Farina earns, or Clorind earns, or whatever, right? They'll show you how much people rolled for that character. But they don't factor in, like, games like Onigiri, where when perks come out, and Vanguard's like, oh, Onigiri made like $10,000 this month. Why? Because Cursect was out and people bought that many restores. They did not roll for Siegfried. They did not. If you told me right now that people spent 10 grand trying to get Siegfried on his banner while Cursect was out, I wouldn't know what to tell you. I'm like, did he get a level 200? Did he get a 150? What happened? Did I miss it? No. Like, what matters is point of purchase. So what Cyberstep needs to do, and I've been saying this for years, to stop people from resorting to piracy is to also offer reasonable prices for bundles that are too good to be true, that generate income for the company that players want to buy without calling it a subscription service. That's literally all you have to do. In my opinion, the number one money-making thing in gacha games, like let's say Star Rail or Genshin or Wuthering Waves, is literally I saw that guy, yeah, I saw him, yeah, he loved Boot Hill or she loved Boot Hill, yeah, I saw that, yeah. But the number one, and someone else did it for like Acheron too, but the number one thing you have to do is, like, I believe the number one moneymaker it's not really Season Pass. Season Pass is interesting, but call me old, but I can't even do a monthly challenge. Don't give me a season pass. Okay? I can't. You can't do that to me. Don't make me kill 10 billion Darumas. Who did all their monthly challenges every month, ever? Even back in the day, like, oh, you gotta get your Cudgels, oh, you gotta get your Prayer Crystals, oh, you gotta get your this, you gotta get, like, every day. Can't do that. Oh, no. Gotta do it every day. Can't miss it. I gotta kill my Darubas every day. Just got yours? Nice. But I mean the old ones, before we got OC, before we got scraps, before we got gacha tickets. Yeah, exactly. So we were talking yesterday, and what they need to do is create like I believe the Welkin Moon makes the most money for Genshin. The same thing for the Pass. Literally the Pass, like the Danmachi game I'm playing right now, they do the exact same thing, right? So if players were able to buy, like, let's say $10 a month, like not $10 a month, it's just every month you can buy this thing, which is a bonus, a premium super login calendar, and it's like $10, and right off the bat you get 100 paid OC because you spent $10. Great. Then Every day you get 50 free OC every single day for 25 days, because that's how our login calendars work, 25 days. And then you get like a shit ton of goodies every day. With a free Vanguard. What the fuck? A free Vanguard. You're going to get Sanzo talking like that. You're going to get us bankrupt talking like that. Listen, buddy. Free Vanguard. A free at the end. So I'd be happy. Legit. Like, okay, so that'd be like your $10 pack. You pay $100. No, fuck. You pay $10 and you get 100 OC paid. And then you get like 50 free OC every day, and they throw in a shit ton of goodies. You get like just all the good shit. Like, I'm okay with you getting like 2 Vanguard scraps, a mount scrap, and an assist scrap. Like within the 5 weeks, you get a Vanguard scrap the first week, you get an assist scrap the second, a mount scrap the third, and then like an assist scrap again, and then on the 5th week you get a Vanguard scrap. I'm down with that. Give me 2 guaranteed scraps a month, whatever, go for it. Better yet, 3 Vanguard scraps. Vanguard scrap, then assist scrap. Vanguard scrap, then mount scrap, then Vanguard scrap again. Do that. I'll allow that. That'd be fine. That'd be fire. And then you get your 50 OC every single day. There, done. That's your $10 pack. What does that create? It is too good to be true not to get this fucking pack. Okay? It's too good to be true. You have now created, Onigiri, we're going to generously say that we have 500 players, okay? And we're going to say that 300 of them are going to do that. Because holy fuck, that's a great idea. Cyberstep now gets $3,000 unconditionally every month. No matter what. No matter what. They now get $3,000 unconditionally. And people buy it. It's not a subscription base. You can choose to buy it. But they will, because it's too fucking good to be true. They would now get $3,000 every month, and you would get yourself 650 OC every month. Plus, you'd get 3 Vanguard scraps. And if you bought that throughout the year, you would get 2, give or take monthly challenges, you would get about 2 full Vanguard scrolls from scraps, because we don't get fucking scraps at all anymore. They hardly show up. They were like in the last event. It was like one of the last times I saw it. It was like the Akechi one. It was like far in between the others. They do something like that. Now you have people like paying a very mild amount. They're getting enough OC that like plus you still have login. You still have your login challenges and your login. So an extra 20 OC every day. So you're getting like 70 OC every day plus the 100 up front. So let's say you do 70 times 25. What's 7 times 25? Well, 7 times 20 would be a lot, I think. But anyway. Maths and talkings are hard. Let's see. 70 times 25. I used to be able to do this. 1,750 OC. That's what I thought it was, and I'm like, that's too much. That's way too fucking much. There's no way. 50 times 70. No. 50. No, it's 70. 70 times 25. 1,750 OC. That is what that would generate. If that existed. Which is a bit too much, honestly. I think that is a bit too much. That's $175 worth of restores, worth of pulls every month. That's a bit too much because that's counted. I didn't factor in the 20 before. So let's say it was just 50, right? So let's say you do 50 times 25. Okay, so 1250. So let's say it was 40. Let's say you got 30 OC every day. Okay. Right. Well, we got to find the metric for that. So like 30 times 25 is 750. Not enough. Ooh, 35 is a good number because that fucks with people. Because then you get a 5. And you're like, fuck. Well, tomorrow I'll get 70. All right, 35 times 25, 875. Okay, that's not good enough. So 40 times 25, 40. Okay, so 40 every day. Perfect. So we fixed the calendar. You're welcome, Cybership. So you buy this thing for $10. They're probably going to charge 15 and then lose. But it's $10. You get 100 OC up front. Can't make it 15 because 15 doesn't exist. Anyway, because you can't buy a $15 pack. That's stupid. You need to have a pack that corresponds with the regular pack. Anyway, so 1,000 OC. You pay 100 OC. You buy the pack. You get 100 paid OC up front, which goes towards your Lion Skull fund. True, for sure. Oh yeah, it does. And then you get 40 OC every day, which is 4 restores, or 40 is good. Wait, fuck. No, because we need to make it 50. No, we don't. We don't need to make it 50. No, we don't. Okay? Because there needs to be a way for people to lose. Like, any gacha game cannot do this without making it able for people to lose. Right? So, this is another metric for it. So if it's $10 and you get 10 OC every day for logging in, and then you get 40 from the thing without doing your daily challenge, what does that give you every single day? What would 50 OC every single day give you? I'm going to let you all respond to this. What would that be in Onigiri? 50 OC a day. What does that translate into? Is there an update? There's an update next week. Right, so 1350. But what does that translate to in Onigiri? 50 OC a day. What does that mean? What can you do with 50 OC every single day? What is that? Should be obvious. Because there's something in this game that costs 50 OC. That's right! You're damn right! A free perk weapon. You're right. A multi every 4 days and a single pull every single day. And you know who wins from a single pull every single day? Cyberstep. And if Cyberstep wins, it's good for them. So what I mean by winning is not you. Right. Exactly. If Cyberstep wins, you lose. Right. Exactly. So for the more veteran players, when we see OC, and that's why I asked all you guys the different questions, because you're going to say PERD, you're going to say this, you're going to say that, and that's going to represent people's demographic, what people are interested in. So if you're somebody that do your dailies every other day, and every 3 days I can do a pull. Great, that's awesome. Go for it. Some people think, if I save up all week, I can run EXP at the end of the week. That's great. That's awesome. So, the game, any gacha game, their goal is to keep you playing all the time, but they also want your reservoir of free or pay, or your reservoir of free currency to be as low as possible. That is their goal. It's a very simple goal, because if people don't have, you can't have the games that people can't get free OC, because they're not gonna play. Like, if you log in every day and you just don't generate value, you're not gonna play. Like Genshin Impact, you get your primo gems, your commissions every day. Star Rail, you get your commissions every day. Wuthering Waves, you get your commissions every day. And you get gems, you get stuff from it, you get currency, it's good. And then you buy your pass every day, that's 90 gems, 90. 90's not enough for a single pull in that game. But imagine if it was 160 every day. Imagine if you had the Welcome Moon Pass, or something like that, and it was a single pull every single day, in a game that has pity, where people are gacha addicted and want to build pity. Holy shit. Too good to be true. And you know what they let you do in those games? They let you buy the Welcome Moon 6 months in advance. Remember back on PSN when if you logged in for 5 days in a row, yes, the first time you got, if you did what? What are you talking about? 160 OC? I don't remember this at all. I don't remember this. What are you talking about? Remember way back in PSN when you log in for 5 days in a row, for the first time you got 160 OC back when the pulls was 40 OC? If you log in 5 days. Yeah. You would log in every day and you'd get more OC than the past day. And then they changed it to just 8 OC every day. And then they changed it to like 10 OC every day. Cool. Yeah. Okay. So that's one avenue they could go down. And that's like the base model, right? So we agree that this $10 deal would be awesome. Do you think Cyberstep is okay with the money that they make? They would have to fucking be. In my honest opinion, Pat, they would have to be. Because unless a company has revenue from outside sources, so they have more than one way to bring in money, unless they have an abundance of money from outside sources, they will not keep something going that is going negative in revenue, unless, of course, it is a passion project, something that they love, and they run it as a deficit the best they can. They'll make up for it other places. In the same way that we will eat cheap and we will spend low so that we can spend high on our gacha games. We eat our noodles. We buy the dollar menu. We eat our junior bacon cheddar. We have all our cheap food that we eat so that we can afford to play our good games. It's the same way that Cyberstep keeps the game going. Cyberstep is a publisher. Cyberstep publishes visual novels. They are on Steam. They are on like itch.io, whatever. They are on like visual novel sites. I saw a game once. I don't know where I was. It was like a visual novel or something. And I saw the word Cyberstep. I'm like, what? And I scrolled back up. Cyberstep publishes other shit than Onigiri. They do. But they don't have any other games. Like, they tried to make that game, The Breakers or whatever. And they had Cosmic Break before. Yeah, Cyberstep almost subsidizes Onigiri by supporting it with outside funding. Onigiri itself makes money enough to keep the lights on. Some of us wail so much that we keep the lights on. I've kept the lights on before. You've kept the lights on before. Well, you know that one fucking guy who's 140 who kept the lights on. You know he does. You God know he does. The guys, all you 3 people that have Abyss perks, you guys kept the servers going all of 2023. God bless your hearts. God bless. You know what doesn't keep the servers going? Buying from Gold AA and stealing from the company. That does not keep the server going. The only place that keeps the server going is you lose your rights, you lose your privileges, and it puts you in the fucking toilet, and then you're playing Genshin Impact, and you're like, why the fuck is this so expensive? Yes, PlayStation makes money from PlayStation Plus, but honestly, fuck PlayStation Plus. Don't get me started on PlayStation. I love Onigiri. I'm glad it's on PlayStation, but fuck PlayStation. Like, no, more specifically, fuck Sony. Honest to God. Oh, the amount of times you have no idea how happy I am that I play Star Rail on PC. And that when I give Star Rail money, it goes directly to them. You know how much I love that? I hate the fact that Sony gets money because I play Onigiri on PlayStation. I hate fucking Sony. Sure, Xbox too. Fuck them too. What I don't like about Xbox is the Game Pass games leave Game Pass. I don't like that. I'm a busy boy who plays gacha games, and I can't afford the time to play a game that comes out within the same year it came out. Sony's gonna cancel me. No, as long as you don't talk bad about the Republic of China, which is in the terms of service for Sony, they don't really care. But it's in there. I read the terms of service. You cannot use PlayStation to shit talk China. It's fucking written in there. That's what I said. Fuck these guys. But no, praise China. God bless. Yes. Thank you. And that's another thing about Sony is that, like, the whole fucking... You guys probably heard about the Helldivers thing where Steam players didn't want to link their accounts to PlayStation no fucking matter what. And it was later brought out that one of the Helldivers devs said that if players were to link their accounts at PlayStation, it would just be easier to ban them. And everyone's just like, oh, so the red flag was fucking true. You were going to shank me in my sleep, you bitch. They wouldn't do it. They're like, nah, I ain't doing it. I ain't doing it. And then PlayStation accounts don't exist in 177 countries in the world. So that's also a thing. So some people like that bought it on Steam wouldn't be able to play the game. So that was a whole other fucking kettle of worms. Anyway, the more you play games, the less you like these people. It's just how it is. But CyberStep's not one of these people. And this is not one of those, hey, that's our $1 billion corporation. He's trying to stand for a $1 billion corporation. Doesn't he know they make millions of money and contribute to the patriarchy? Like, fuck off. It's not this case. CyberStep's like the lowball guy. They are a $1 billion corporation. I will tell you that. They have made $1 billion. That is not untrue. That is not untrue. But I fucking hope they do. But it's not like they're the guys who own the store. They're not the guys who own the building. They're not the guys who own the platform. Yeah, that metaverse thing went to shit. And then CyberStep realized, oh my god, that's our baby, give us that back. And then they started doing surveys and being better and doing all that stuff. Yeah, you sent me something on Discord, yeah. I can't be looking everywhere. You're saying something about the mags or whatnot? Yep, as my buddy said, Spear is eating good, this update coming. But we can't talk about our dessert until we could continue talking about this. So, yeah, so basically the case in point of what I was saying, now mind you, please forgive me for all this rambling and talking about this, because this is more likely us having a discussion about the state of Steam, more so than me doing a 5-minute video of telling you guys to stop buying fucking stolen shit. Okay? And that's just the state of it. So, stop doing this. If you can't afford something, don't buy it. Don't take a loan for a video game. Feed your family, feed your kids, feed yourself. Like, please. Consult therapy for gambling addiction. Please. Okay. We got those out of the way. Okay. You can stop. I know I can't. That's why I said please. Okay. Where are we? Oh, the new accessory is super good. Super, super good. Take a loan for OC is crazy. Well, fuck. It's not unheard of. It's not unheard of at all. Fuck. Oh. The other game oh yeah, that was bad. That was really bad. They don't like when you roll free OC, because I only have 5,000 of it. Payment plan financing. Yes, exactly. How would you like to finance this OC? And like, and someone's like, I don't see kidney as an option. Yeah, sir, we have too many kidneys. Fuck. Anyway. Yeah. So did CyberStep buff any old Vanguards yet? They buffed Kenshin, if that counts. You can get free OC. Like, as long as like free as possible. I've gotten more Sublimes with free OC than like ever before. Yeah, new things are never there. True. That's fine. Onigiri hasn't gotten money from me in like 4 months, so it's time to pay due. Yeah, Kenshin buff was honestly really good. Yep. The new Mags buff stuff too. Oh, the Vanguards and accessories, yeah. They're not there until later. Like, when I got the Toshi accessories, it was with free OC. It was a banner. It was a Toshi banner, but Toshi wasn't on it, I think. I think. Either that or I just only got Raijin. I only got one Vanguard and 5,000 OC. It was fucking bullshit. It was really bad. But, yeah. So, back onto the point of, like, if they changed their service models, like, we'd spend more money. Like I said, like, if in new banners they, like, if they put in the gold banner just the Sublime set, skill card set, and it was there, and it was the same rate of getting an accessory, and then you could just pick from the list which one you want, that'd be perfect. Do you know how many times I tell myself I will not touch a Sublime banner? I will not touch a Sublime banner. I will not touch a Sublime banner. And then you know what I do? I touch a Sublime banner. Like, oh my god. Yeah. If we had a pity... Well, we do have a pity system, which is pretty good. Like, people can shit on the Yorozu system and compare it to Genshin system or Star Rail system or whatever. Am I saying that to piss you off? No, I'm just saying stuff in general. It wasn't targeted at all. No, that happens to me all the time. It happens to me all the time. Yeah, Len, just keep up live for now because we're just shooting the ship, really. You can watch it all later, please do. Like, comment, subscribe. Now the good thing about the Yorozu system is that whatever Yorozus you build on any banner, you can save those up and pretty much get any character that is not a new summer or Christmas release character, New Year's character, right away for 120 Yorozu tickets. The value of 120 Yorozu tickets is around $500 US. Around that much. Now, yeah, if you get all the discount rolls just to build pity or build Yorozu, yes, it can save you a lot of money. But I would rather generate Yorozus on a banner I actually want stuff on than just hitting all the discounts, because I've been playing for so long that I'm going to say 90% of the characters maxed out in this game, and then if I get anything that is not the character on the banner that I want, I'm losing, so I don't do that. Okay? But yeah, that's why the events where they'll say every day for 10 paid OC you can do a summon and get a Yorozu ticket, that is a 5 times value, and it is the most important thing in the entire game. In my opinion, in a Wales perspective, as a veteran's perspective, those events, I want that every single day. That would save Onigiri. If that was there every day, if that was happening every day, where I could log into Onigiri and spend 10 paid OC and get a Yorozu ticket and a roll and maybe get something good out of it, Onigiri's saved. Onigiri's saved. That means like every 4 months of doing that, for 10 OC a day, you could save a child in Africa. Basically. That's basically what it's saying. For 10 OC a day, you could, after 120 days, you would just get a free Vanguard of your choice from the Black Ops. Yeah, they did it, some other celebration they did that a while ago. But yeah, so Len, so basically, to reiterate for anyone new to the chat, Steam lost the right to have bazaars, lost the privilege to use bazaars because people were using bazaars to buy ill-gotten OC that was undercutting the company. So basically, person A has 1,000 OC, person B puts down a stall has friendship item for 1,000 OC, person A buys the item, person B gets 700 OC, person A charges back credit card, deletes account, moves on. Right. Your favorite website? Oh yeah? Are you one of those golden boys? Are you part of the problem? Right. And as I said before, no snowflake feels like they're part of the avalanche. So, this has been going on for so long that apparently in January, Cybercept took away bazaars temporarily. And in their message, they said, in January, we took away bazaars, hoping that it would, teach them a fucking lesson. And then they brought them back, and then the problem persisted. And then they said, you know what? Fuck y'all. We tried to stop you. But it didn't matter. People did what they had to do. Or did what they thought they had to do. Anyway, the problem persisted. People kept stealing. and they lost their stuff. It's like fucking California, where you go into, what do you guys have, Walgreens, and everything's locked up behind glass, and if you want to get deodorant, you have to go find someone and ask them, can you please open up the deodorant case? I would like to get a deodorant, please, because people keep stealing the deodorant at the store. And how everything's locked up and you can't get anything and you can't shop anymore because they treat everyone as criminals. That's basically what happened. That's New York? Okay, anyway. Whatever. I guess it's New York. Sure. Good old New York. New York, New York. Can I get a slice of pizza, please? Yes, sis. Stand behind the bomb door and we'll open up the glass case. Sure. Whatever. Just an example. I hear about it all the time. So, basically the same principle. So, case in point, people were buying from their drug dealers rather than buying from the government, undercutting the government, and then they lost their privilege to do business anymore, and that's that. So, as we say in the gotcha world, losers lose. Now, is everyone that does this a loser? No. Some people, like I've talked to many people, their money's not worth that much. They thought, hey, I'm going to do this and then I'll be able to play, I'll be able to get the good stuff, I'll be the good guy, I'll be awesome, and I'll do it just once, and, you know, they'll try to get ahead. They'll try to use every little advantage they have because sometimes there's just no advantages. And part of this, and I did say this when I was talking in the Steam Discord yesterday, and after I heard a bunch of people's opinions, it came to me, and I said, Onigiri has not changed in 10 years. We have had the same pricing model, you know, minus, you know, adhering to Japanese costs or whatever. You know, like we've had a 5-roll cost 1600 OC, and then we merged with JP, a 5-roll cost 200 OC. But the monetization, like the price of OC, has never changed. 1,000 OC is 100 USD. It hasn't grown with inflation, hasn't changed, unless you live in Canada. In Canada, it changed because of our laws. So what I'm trying to say is that Onigiri didn't change, but the world around it and the systems at play did change. And this does factor in towards why this is a thing now, as opposed to not being a thing or that big of a thing in the past. Okay? So, the world changed. And that's, you can't tell me that the world of today is the same as the world of 2015, the world of 2013, 2015, 2016. Things are different. Economically, the yen is in a dog pile of water trying to breathe. The Japanese yen has gone to shit this past year. Some countries, their monetary value isn't there either. COVID changed a lot of that too, because people stopped exporting certain things and they started importing different things, and people started saving money because people started living off of less money, right? So if people weren't allowed to work, or they could only get their CERB, or they only had this, or maybe they got more than what they had, things changed. People's ways of life changed. They started to value different things. Some people that never had Netflix, now they have Netflix all the time. They have Amazon, they have this, and things encroach on their financial stability. You have different passions and different vices that occupy your life that make it harder to spend only on one thing, or whatever, or maybe you have kids, or maybe life changed. But what I was trying to say is that it sounds like the world changed. When I first started playing Onigiri, 1,000 OC was 100 Canadian. The Canadian dollar was way less than the American dollar by at least 20% by that point. It's like 70% now. So, and then at one point, the government from where I live, the provincial government, said, hey, we're not taxing online PlayStation transactions, we're taxing physical in-store transactions. So we're going to start doing that. So, and this happened in, I believe, Quebec first in Canada. But basically, the price of OC went from $100 Canadian to 133, which is what would happen because of the American-Canadian price difference. So they basically, matched inflation. Now, other games that I played, Warframe already did that from the get-go because the Canadian dollar was worse than the American dollar, which was the standard. And then the government started taxing that transaction too. And now, if I want to buy 1,000 OC, it costs me $153 Canadian. That is what it costs. Did I buy less OC? Yes, I did. Did I steal for the OC? No. Did I get a good paying job? Yes, thank God. But I did something about it. But it is what it is. I also have less commitments than other people. For sure. But that's not the case for everyone. I have another friend, he plays a shit ton of gacha games. He plays Onigiri, he plays all these other games. And I remember when I first met him, he was working at Little Caesars. And he said, oh man, I had a really hard shift and such and such. And he would play all these games, and he's like, oh, it's so hard to balance the money and stuff. And then one time, I hadn't seen him for like a year maybe, and then we got into a VC again. I said, hey man, how you doing? I haven't talked to you in a long time. Are you still at Little Caesars? He said, no man, I got this way better job. It's really hard labor, but he's like, it pays the bills. I had to do it. And now it pays his bills. He can buy stuff in Onigiri. He made his life better because he wanted more in his life. And that's like, I work with a guy at work. He's like, I think he's 65 years old. Very, very wise man. He could have been mayor where he lives, but he's out of the jurisdiction for it. Anyway, and he says, every time like management comes out to us and says something about like, oh, we want to do this, but we can't, he'll say, want builds character. And what that means is if you want something, you're going to either give up on it, or if you're going to work to get it, it's going to make you a better person. If you want something and you work hard for it, it's going to make you a better person because you're going to get that work ethic. You're going to be a better person. Like this ties into what I said earlier about how PlayStation players never had bazaars. We never had 10 OC restores. We were living this game on like nightmare difficulty compared to everyone else. And it built character. We're like, oh, we have to farm something? Okay. Oh, we have to get the log mag? I guess. We got to get this? I guess we do. And it was like the test of character. Like I remember, I'll tell this story a million times. There was a guy that he wanted to play Onigiri. He came to me. I said, hey, you want to play Onigiri? Okay. He's kind of an annoying guy. Anyway, I still talked to him. I helped him out. He wanted to play Twin Sword. I said, okay. Well, I said, how about this? I said, I'll take you through some of the story and stuff. I'll get you where you need to be. But if you want me to help you any more, like I let him, I think I got him his 105 recipe or something. But I told him, like, I'm not going to help you any, because he was kind of like piggybacking off of me. Yeah, this is the you should have said no guy. Basically, and he was kind of piggybacking off of everybody without really working for himself. And I said, okay, I said, man, right now your approach, he was like level 105. I said, okay, right now, like, you're at 105. I need you to prove to me that you're not, that the effort I'm going to put into you is not wasted. Okay? And he said, what do you need me to do? I said, what I need you to do is I need you to farm 3, the fuck's that called? Hunter's Magatamas. So that you can make your 105s. And I brought him to Water Bazooka. I said, this is what you got to do. You can use daily. He had boosts. Like I told him, take your OC, buy, drop, boost, whatever. And I said, just farm 3 of these mags. Now, I wanted him to farm 3, and I expected him to get like 1 or maybe 2, and like maybe give up, or maybe impress me and get all 3. If he would have got 1 or 2, I said, that's amazing, dude. That's great. You actually got it. I would have been like way better. But he farmed for like a day, not even, like maybe like 4 or 5 hours. I don't know, but it wasn't very long. And he come back to me and he said, dude, I tried to farm that Hunter's Mag. That shit's impossible. And he said, you should have just said no, that you didn't want to help me. And then he just left. He just quit. And I'm like, that's sad that he quit, but at the same time, it's like, I'd rather him quit then and there before he gets to the likes of something else later that's actually really hard to farm. Like, I think it might have been after the recipe redux where you didn't need to farm all the other little mags. Maybe you still needed Inari. But yeah, he said, like, I told him, you need to farm these 3 mags, because if you can't do that, then I don't know what to do with you. And he did it, like, he barely tried it. He said that's impossible. You should have just said no. And I said, no, I'm not going to say no, because maybe you could have proved me wrong. I believe in the good in people and being surprised. But he's just like, nope. He says, you should have just said no. And I'm like, well, it is what it is. So, like, it just wasn't cut out for him. Like, that's literally the litmus test. Like, if you can't do this, or at least try really hard, then Onigiri might not be the game for you. What they changed the 105 recipes? I'm the one who inspired you to play the game. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So the 105 recipes when they first debuted, they used to take, I'm probably wrong about this, used to take like scarlet gems or cerulean gems and then myrtle gems. I think. I have so many gems now I can't remember. And then they used, let's say for spear, you needed the log Magatama, you needed the Cancer Magatama, and you needed the Leo Magatama, and you needed a Sagittarius Magatama, and then you need to have some gems, and you put it all together, and you made a 105. Flash forward to today, you need your log Magatama, you need your Sagittarius Magatama, you need some gems, and I think you need something else. I don't know. I haven't made a 105 in like a year, 2 years maybe. I probably made one like a month ago and I don't remember. Bear with me. Let's see. Log. It's not log. Thunderquake. No, this one. Cockatoo. That's what it is. Cockatoo. How the fuck do you get a cockatoo? Cockatoo? Really? How do you get a cockatoo? No, without the moon. Without the moon, how do you get a cockatoo? Because I know you get cockatoos in the moon, no problem. Cockatoo's home, easy. I remember making like 3 sword 105s, and I think I eventually made a couple of fuse too. Oh yeah. I remember farming like Ronin mags for it. Yeah, everyone hated the Ronin. If you were a spear, you got Ronins like crazy. We didn't have bazaars too, right? If we would have had islands, you're probably right. Yeah. I know you can get them in Tanegashima from the box. Maybe the box with the cat. Maybe it dropped there. I feel like you got them there. I don't know. Boss. I don't know how to get OG Cockatoo. I don't know. But that's the thing, like, had we have had bazaars right away, like, if you're a new player to the game that's not playing on Steam, and you're playing on PlayStation, and you want to be, like, I would say this all the time, like, oh, they're like, hey, I'm new to the game, what can I do? And I would ask, do you have $20? And they're like, what? $20? Why? I'm like, well, you could buy 3 log max, or 3 105s, for like, it was 45 OC back in the day. Right on. But back in the day, min price for a 105 was, I believe, 45 OC, because it was equal to its chakra value. Today, mag's min price is equal to twice their chakra value. So, you could buy like 3 105s for like 150 OC. So like if you had $20, damn bro, you could get 3 105s and a sparrow in a day. Which, why wouldn't you? Like, yes, want builds character, hard work builds character, but if I tried to tell someone today to go farm Naki Sawame Cave for like a week and pray for fever and drop boosts and using a bow, wink wink, kill them bugs, you're gonna fucking hate your life. You're gonna be like, this game fucking sucks. I'm gonna go be a free-to-play wage slave in Genshin Impact. Like, it's just not gonna happen in today's climate. You're gonna find the odd person that's gonna be like, yeah, man, this game's great. I love a grindy game like this. And that's why Oni, like, shapes us. That's why, like, when Oni players go to other gacha games, we fucking dominate. I'm not being hyperbolic. I'm not trying to jerk you all off. At the same time, but when we go to other gacha games, we kick ass. Like, we go, like, right to the top. We do. We do. Like, it's just who we are. Really. Because we're like, oh, we can only farm, like, so much of this a day, and we're used to farming stuff for, like, 3-4 hours a day. We're like, oh, easy. Oh, I could just go into this game and hit auto, like, 30 times? This game's easy. I'm going to go play Onigiri in the background. Like, easy. Great. You know? It's just how it is. It's just how it is. But yeah, that's another thing about fucking Sublimes, too. Sublimes should be tradable for paid OC. They should be. Now, fun stories aside, talking about all this, let's roll this up a little bit more. Okay. So in light of all this, how would, hypothetically speaking, we talked about other monetization ways that Cyberstep can make money. There's this $10 pack that gets you all these bonuses. Make a $20 pack that gets you like more bonuses. Gets you a legendary ticket at the end of it. Sure, do like I want a season pass, but I just want a fucking awesome thing that all I have to do is log in. Make that value as minimum as possible on the player. Like, I started playing Withering Waves, and I barely got the battle pass done by the time it updated. I barely did. I swear to God, I got it done last night. And, like, battle passes and season passes are cool, but sometimes, especially if you start a game late, they're just fucking awful. And they have stuff in them that's just so good that if you can't get them, you're wasting your fucking time. Now, I want battle pass, like, I want a login calendar that does not expire from point A to point B. If Onigiri had a login calendar, it's 25 days from when you buy it to when it ends. That's it. Doesn't matter what update you're on, it goes from A to B. That's it. So that means you just got to do your logins. And if you miss a day, well, you just got to play another day. Oh no, I have to play another day. Great. It's not, oh no, I missed the shit. No, you don't miss it. You just go to the next day. That's the model they had to do. If they want to make a super battle pass, like $30 a month, and that one gives you a fucking Yorozu ticket every day and a legendary gacha ticket on day 25, and it gives you like a scrap every week or a scrap box or whatever, and it comes with mag powders, and it comes with fucking 35 energy restores, and it comes with a cool accessory that's got a reskin on it that's specific to that one. Cool, do it, sure, go for it. That's great. That's a great way for the game to make money without, killing people's wallets, and they make passive income, and it's better because a lot of the veteran high-end players like myself, we don't roll every month because it's not worth it. Like, this month I have to roll. Come January, I have to get that new spear accessory. That thing is fucking beautiful. It is gorgeous. I thought I would never have to replace Toshi ornament accessories. Well, that's a good fucking problem to have. Okay? So just to sprinkle some nice little fairy dust in this conversation, I get to read to you guys what this new accessory is. Those on Steam, you know what it is. Those on PlayStation, you wish you knew what this was. Those who don't play Spear, you don't care. Or maybe you do. So, this new accessory, we're getting an event with Super Moroku, basically. Like how we had Ibaraki and Shizuka. Sprinkle salt in my wounds. For taste. Salt for taste. So this accessory is called the Miroku Tabu Yaksha. Later gate. What it does, 10% HP percent, 20% attack, wind 40, pierce 30, Spear affinity, 70. Critical, 20. Hello? 20 crit? Hello? Crit force, 30. To put that in perspective, crit force 30 is 2 perfect rolls on a sparrow. That is 2 perfect, whatever the fuck that ornamentation is called. It's 2 perfect rolls, 15, 15 on an accessory. So 30 crit force. Base crit force is what, 210 or 170? Base crit force is 170. So one of these accessories puts your crit force from a 70% multiplier to a 200 or a 2 times multiplier. Having 2 of them, 2.3. Then your mags that are really good, you're done. You're done. Max crit multiplier. Cooldown cut, 5. Movement speed, 15. I was about to make the win mag from like the Yogg event that gives you 15 movement speed for the movement speed alone. 15 movement speed on an accessory? Holy shit. 2 of them? Oh my god. If I ever take them off, I'm going to punch myself because I'll be going so slow. It'd be like watching the Flash try to walk. Oh my god. And then there's more. It has built-in Chiami. Sorry for yelling, but fuck. Restores 1% of your HP when a critical hit is dealt. For reference, Chiami is 3%. So this is 1/3 of Chiami. You wear 2 of these sons of bitches. That's 2% HP. That's 66% of a Chiami without the cost of wearing a Chiami. Now, what if you did wear a Chiami? Then that's 5% HP. And now you're cooking. Now you're not dying. That's good. Not dying is good. Yeah, so that's fucking amazing. The only thing this doesn't have that Toshi has is 10 Vit, which is wild. It's wild. It's great. It's amazing. It's crisp. It's juicy. It's raw affinity. However, this thing lets you mock faster, so that's way better. And heal. So yeah, that accessory is amazing. Okay, cool. So that's kind of the good news. So, on to what I think should happen. So basically, this whole thing that happened on Steam, it's not any one particular person's fault. It is the fault of many, and people reap what they sow. It's a shame that a few bad apples spoil the pot or the barrel. It's true. It's how it goes. You know, their hand was forced. You reap what you sow. Okay. So, in light of this, Cyberstep does not state that this is a temporary thing about losing bazaars. Cyberstep does not state it is a permanent thing for losing bazaars. What I believe they are doing is that they are removing the bazaars and they are going to rework this. Because, like I mentioned earlier, one of the biggest revenue generators on PlayStation is the Redux Magatama, and how those who have the recipe for the Redux Magatama have to sell it. They have full supply and demand of that Magatama, which is one of the best Magatamas in the game, to players that do not have access to that recipe. That is one of their number one money makers on PlayStation. The amount of times I see people buying Reduxes for $200, $250, $170, $150, more than they would spend on a Vanguard most of the time, and they buy 3 of these fuckers. 3 of these mags. That's generating 500 OC per player. 5,000 OC per player. Right? And they either gotta do a lot of trading on their own, or they put in OC to buy it. Okay? That's one of their greatest revenue sources in the entire game. Now you have the Ascension weapons. If people don't do if they're not there for the Honda events where you fight Javi Odin and they want an easy weapon to start the game with, Ascension weapon. Like, people make a lot of money off the silhouette mags they can sell because they're good. They make a lot of money off the Ascension weapons. They make a lot of money off the Reduxes. And when players make money, Cyberstep makes money. It doesn't matter when they buy OC, if it goes in the Nian or if it goes to some other player. What matters is that it goes to the company, so long as you're buying it from them. That's the fucking point. That's point of purchase. And point of purchase was attacked here. If it were me, and in light of this, and if I had the final say of this issue, I would reinstate bazaars. However, in the past, we used to have to buy a golden bazaar ticket to use bazaars. When they first came out, they were like free for a week, I think, or something, or an update. But then after that, you had to buy a ticket to have a license to use your bazaar. That was part of the game. We forget about that. I forgot about that about 3 seconds ago. But that was the thing. You had to buy a license to sell things. That way people weren't just selling things ad infinitum, and Cyberstep generated some revenue from it. You had to buy the ability to do it. And then eventually they just gave that privilege to everyone, to their downfall. Because what that does is it makes it so someone just can't start up a new character. Well, they could. Someone can't just start up a new character, run through an event, grab everything from the exchange shop, sell it to other people with item stacking for really, really cheap, and then make bank off of it, or help another player out without Cyberstep getting something in the end. So by having those bazaar tickets and people having to buy them, Cyberstep at least generated like $9 every time someone bought one. Right? So the problem with that is that if someone's going to charge back their credit card anyway, it doesn't fix the problem, right? Like if they're just going to do that anyway on the dummy burner account, buy the 1,000 OC and then buy the pass to sell the thing and then charge it back, it doesn't fucking matter. So what has to happen after that is they need to bring, if they bring bazaars back, they have to abolish bazaarable OC. Or at least change it. So, what would have to happen is that now it's already gone, right? The bazaars are gone. I'm not saying this is a what if or whatever. I'm saying if they were to bring it back, this is the only way I can see them doing it as things were without radically changing the system. Is bazaarable OC needs to go away, and you can only use paid OC to buy on the stalls. That would be the only way to bring it back. So why do I say this? So let's say, for example, I want to sell you a Redux mag, and I'm going to charge you 2,000 OC for a Redux because of what goes into it, the cost, the time, etc., etc. I think 2,000 OC is very fair. I think 2,500 OC is what a Redux is worth in order to make it. So if you're making it for someone else that can't make it, that's parts and labor. So if you're selling it for 2,000, that's pretty good. So if you want to sell this thing for 2,000 OC, I think the only way to stop this whole system of people buying fake OC and shit is, like, what happens is that under the old thing with the gold AA, it benefited the seller, not the buyer. If they make it so you can only trade with paid OC, then it benefits only the buyer, not the seller. So if that were to be the case, if I want to sell my Redux for 2,000 OC and Johnny Yokai Man wants to buy it for 2,000 OC, he has to buy 2,000 paid OC and buy it from me. And then after I get the 2,000 paid OC, it turns into free. So when I do that for him, it gets me $200 worth of restores, and he gets a mag. But the problem with the bazaarable OC is that you can use it to, like, buy more shit and buy more shit and buy more shit. But if you can't, then it only goes to restores. And you can't use it on the paid banner and stuff. But that way, it forces the buyer to have to put in money to get it. And the buyer is not going to risk fucking around with their account and trying to charge back shit to get stuff, because that's just not good. Like, now that's the speculation of me after, like, thinking about it for a day. Like, that, to me, that's the only way they would get it back, is if they made it so that if you're going to use bazaars, it has to be paid OC on both ends, and you suffer the cost that, well, after that, it turns into free OC. That cannot then be used on the bazaar again. That way, whatever the person is selling it for, the other player has to put that much, give it to Cyberstep in order to get that item from the player. This also circumvents, no it doesn't. This method does not circumvent RMT, which is against the terms of service, which is real money trade, which Cyberstep has always been against since the beginning. I remember reading the terms of service about it. They hate real money trade, RMT. So real money trade is where I put a Redux on the market for min value, which is 110 OC, something like that. Or it's 52 chakra, so like 104 OC, whatever. I put it up for min. I sell it to somebody, and then he PayPals me like $200 or $150 or whatever. RMT, this doesn't stop RMT, but at least Cyberstep gets something from it. But the main problem right now is that people are just getting 1,000 OC and then doing that, right? And that's the big problem, because even though it's like the difference between what's going on now and real money trading is that real money trading, most people, if they're selling their stuff or they're quitting, they're going to sell all their gear, and then they're going to like sell it for cheap, and then they're going to PayPal them or whatever, Venmo, e-transfer, whatever we have nowadays, and then they get their money elsewhere. And then Cyberstep's going to hope that they're going to put that money back into the game as paid OC, and then Cyberstep wins. But if they don't, then somebody just fooled around on a video game and then they spent the money elsewhere. At least the money's going somewhere. It's not generating false money and causing chargebacks, which Cyberstep has to like pay people to handle, and the banks get mad and yada 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 yada. It's not good for credit and shit. So there's a clear difference between the real money trading and what's going on now. And arguably speaking, the real money trading is better, and they already hate that shit. It's better than what's going on now, because at least like if they had paid OC, like if that was the only way to do bazaars, even if that still persisted and someone bought a Redux, they still got to put in $20 to buy it because it costs 105 OC. So they still got to give Cyberstep $20. And if every time somebody made a sale in Onigiri, Cyberstep got $20, it's fucking awesome. That's awesome. Imagine that as a commission. Imagine that as a tip. Every time somebody bought something that was worth more than 100 OC, Cyberstep got $20. $20 unconditionally? You know what $20 is? That's a 5-roll. They want you doing that all the time. So if that were to be the case, if they were to reinstate bazaars but make it so both parties had to use paid OC, they could bring it back. They could. Now, would I want that to happen on PlayStation? No, because we're good noodles and we don't do gold AA shit. For the most part, we might. I don't know. But it's a lot harder to do on PlayStation because you have to make PlayStation accounts, and it's harder to hack PlayStations, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da. So, yeah. So, I noticed chat's been quiet for a little bit. Do you guys have any other input on the issue? Is there anything you furthermore would like to say? Anything you'd like to add or contribute? Or anything at all? Before I feel like I've said enough on the topic. Like, it is what it is. It's a damn shame that it's happening. I'm embarrassed that it's happening. I'm surprised it's happening in my community. I'm surprised it's in this game and not some random ass Chinese spyware phone mobile game that rips off assets from some other game. Like, I'm surprised it's happening here. Like, in my neighborhood. Like, really? Like, this game? It's like, this is like an old folks home retirement home game. Like, why are we doing this here? Why aren't we doing this on like some, I don't know, bootleg AI art game that copies assets from everything and it's gonna die in like 10 years or like 5 years or 2 years? You know what I mean? I'm just surprised it's happening here and not somewhere else. Like, that is the biggest surprise to me, is that it's happening in Oni and it's not happening in some more popular game. Like, why Oni? And when I thought about why Oni, it's because this is happening by people like Gold AA. I guarantee it are people that are in our community. They are update staff guy. Like, the people that are doing this are Onigiri players. Like, let's be real. Someone in some other part of the world isn't going to just be like, oh, Onigiri, how many players do they have? 300. But 300 players, oh my god, let's go scam them. And then it's like, oh, I played Duel Links, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links for like a month. And I kept seeing all these messages of like, buy cheap gold here, buy cheap gold here, buy cheap gold here. And they'd give you like some URL to put in, and you'd give them all your credit card information, and then they just fucking steal your shit. Like, you see that all the time. So I thought, like, people were, smart enough not to do that. There was a time in Onigiri where there were some people that would just like stand around in Onigiri, like in Onigashima, and they would constantly just copy and paste a message like that. Hey, go to this website and buy cheap OC. Go to this website and buy da 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 da. And I remember I reported it. I took a screenshot of it and I reported it to Cyberstep. And I think what they ended up doing was they just banned the sentence. Like, they banned the URL. Like, you could not type it out. So, like, if you had a good GM that was monitoring for that shit, like, legit, that's all you do. If you're being a good GM, you, like, monitoring the logs and you run some script or something that looks for anything that says, like, dot and com or, like, buy shit or, like, free or whatever. The people are saying in all chat so that everyone can see it, and then you look for it, and then whenever that sentence comes up, you, like, ban the player. Or, like, you give them, like, a temporary ban, or you warn them, hey, stop this, and if it persists, then you do what you have to do, yada, yada, yada. And then, if that doesn't work, then you just ban the website. Whatever link or URL they give you, you just ban it. You say, you cannot type that in the game. It's gone. Can't do it anymore. I think that's what they did at that time. Because I remember that was happening, and I look at it, and I'm like, oh, well, that's stupid. Why would anyone do that? And then here we are today. Yeah, so yeah, so hopefully we all know what's been going on. Hopefully people are waking up playing Steam Onigiri today, the new update, and they're like, hey, how come, where are the bazaars? Why aren't they there? Hopefully this addresses the situation. If one of your friends asks you, hey, where are the bazaars? Why are they gone? Please be honest with them and tell them that people were using them to steal from Cyberstep, so Cyberstep had to take them away. Tell them that. Please. Just don't sugarcoat it. Don't try to make light of it. Don't try to rationalize it. Just call it what it is. People were stealing from the company, using bazaars to exploit that theft. And they shut it down. Simple as that. If the rats keep getting in the back door, well, guess what? We seal that fucker shut. Done. Oh, we can't use the store anymore. Nope. Rats were shitting in the ice cream. Can't have it. Bye. Too bad. Just how it is. So that's... I don't know how long this stream is, but 2 hours. Thank you all for coming out. Thanks for listening. We had a huge turnout to this. I'm not trying to farm views or clicks by talking about it. I wanted to talk about it because it's happening. I'm very disappointed, and it's a shame that I'm talking about it today. We had some laughs. We got to joke about bad things because it's how it goes. We have to make people feel bad about what they do when it's bad. Like, it is what it is. Like, when people do bad things in real life, you make fun of them. You don't celebrate them. You don't sympathize with them. Now, everyone has their reasons. I'll give them that. But this is not one of those places to do those reasons. Like I said before, if you don't have enough money to spend on this gacha game, you have to choose between, or any game, you have to choose between money or food or buying this stuff in game. Pick the food. Don't buy the stuff. No one's going to think worse of you because you can't have a 5-star KG in solo something. It is what it is. Like, Onigiri is a cooperative pseudo MMO. Like, I can't tell you how many people, like, if I'm farming a perg and there's a 5th slot or a 4th slot or anything at all, I'll, like, either stream it or have a party box saying, hey, I'm farming this, join if you want. And people come in and they get stuff. Like, if I can solo it, you can come with me. Like, Onigiri is one of the only games I ever really see that en masse. Like, where people will be like, hey, I'm farming this. Do you want to come? You just got to restore. You don't have to do anything. I'll just help you out. To which I really, really wish Onigiri would make it so that there would be an option to run a dungeon energy free. like in games like Genshin, you can actually run a domain with somebody that's too weak to farm it, or they're not too proficient at it, carry the shit out of it for them, and at the end they can claim the reward and you can abstain from doing so, and you could do this for hours so long as they wanted to restore for it. I love that in games. I love that. That was like my favorite thing about Genshin. And I was like, man, I wish we had that in Oni. Like, I wish I could take someone through and like get their guards and stuff. But energy, like we talked about this too, me and Nixian, we were saying that energy dungeons are just too much. Like I don't know why there's 60 energy. 60 is not divisible by our energy total. Now we do have the new energy system where you can like load up your energy to like 500 and just go and just go and just go. And I love that. I love it. I love it. I love it. But I kind of wish that any dungeon that had laps, like let's say you go into a purg and you beat hell, I wish it had laps saying, hey, do you want to do it again? But I wish they would put it in so that when you do laps, it was like, let's say the first run was like 60 energy, every other run should be 50 energy. And if you're doing hard mode and the first run's 40 energy, every other run should be 30 energy. And if you're doing normal mode and it's 10 energy, every other run should be like 5 energy. You know what I mean? Yeah, society if every dungeon had laps, exactly. Like, now I would be so down with that, because then it would encourage people to OC restore, because you're getting a value, you're saving 10 OC, and it basically turns into like, you know, I mean, look at dungeon campaigns. Right now we have like all the dungeons that are like Ignis and Leviathan and the Forest and Darkfin, and they normally cost 60 OC a run, 60 energy a run. 60. Oh, could you fucking imagine? Nightmare fuel right there. But when they go down to 50 energy a run, it's like, oh my god, this is a steal, this is awesome. When I went to 140, it was 50 energy a run for hell. It was fever time, and every time we bought 1,000 OC, we got 150 free. That's when I hit 140, not when it was 60 a pop. No. But if every dungeon had laps, like the world would be a better place. Absolutely, it'd be world peace. So. What? You would play with me right now after working. I would pay you for the amount of energy. I appreciate that, but fuck my throat. And I've met people that have done that before. Like, I've had people approach me and say, hey, I really want to farm Abyss. I really want the Abyss weapon, but I can't really farm it. Would you run it with me, and then I'll buy something from your stall after? And I said, yeah, absolutely. Do I have any comments about the state of PS4? Wow. That's a great question. Thank you, John. I'm going to drink some water to that. Okay, the state of PS4. If you were playing Onigiri on a PS4, you're a better man than I, because I can't fucking do that. PS4 is slow as fuck. It won't load anything. It makes the game horrible. Makes me not play the game playing on PS4. If you're still playing on PS4, you're amazing. You're awesome. You're the most devoted player I've ever met in my life. Okay, but if you're playing on PS5, it's great, it's fantastic. You have solid state drive. The game loads in 2 seconds. It's great. Okay, that was just my joke answer because you said it like that. So my thought. What is this? The State of the Union address? So the state of PS4. You said it's a fire year. I've been saying this ever since. We merged with JP, that every year, like, people said, oh, is Onigiri worth playing right now? And I would say, this is the best time to play Onigiri ever in the history of Onigiri. Because when we got 10 OC restores, like, it didn't matter after that, right? It didn't matter. Once we got 10 OC restores after having 30 OC restores for years, it didn't matter. Onigiri could release an update where I have to use paid OC to not really, but like, you know, Onigiri could release a dog shit update, and I'd look at it and be like, man, I don't have to play this. And I'll think to myself, even if I did, I could use 10 OC restores. Like, they could, what I mean is, like, they could, like, just fumble the fucking ball for, like, 3 months. And I wouldn't care. Because I had 10 OC restores. And then they added the daily missions to where you identify something. I hate the identify part. But you identify something, you buy something from Moroku, you run a dungeon, and you get 10 extra OC every day. And then if you do this every day, you get a monthly box, which could be 300 OC, it could be 10 gacha tickets, or it could be a scrap. And that's awesome. And I think that's great. And, like, we used to live in a world where that was a fever dream. That didn't exist. We used to get 2 fucking OC a day. We used to get 8. Now we get 20. We got 10, then we got 20. Like, Onigiri PlayStation, this is the best it's ever been. And it's not going to be the best it's ever going to be because they asked for a survey and they've been delivering. Every update, they've been delivering quality of life updates into everything. Mira just showed me a while ago that on Steam, it now shows you the server clock on dungeons that take energy, or dungeons that are for a certain day. Like if you talk to Chifuri, the dungeon will show you what time it is for the server, so basically Japan time. And that's really good because some people will say like, hey Oro, when's Ignis Day? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. Like, I'll be honest with you, it's like, I think it's Saturday. They'll be like, what time is Leviathan Day? And I'm like, I think it's Wednesday. And it's like, actually it's Thursday. Oh, okay. What day is Glaciers? I think it's Thursday. Actually, it's Friday. And it's like, oh, okay. But now it shows you, because of the game being in Japan, there's a 12-hour difference between me and them. You don't know what fucking day it is in Onigiri. It's either today or it's tomorrow. It's either you're doing the Spear Dungeon Day or you're getting, like, axe cards. And you're like, what the fuck? Why? I didn't know we had Blazing Swing on Spear. Cool! Like, or you're going like, I need Inferno Stones, and you come out with like Cutting Stones, you're like, what the fuck? Because Cutting Stones are like Monday and Inferno Stones are Tuesday. But, you know, backwards. Anyway, whatever. But they added that. They saw a problem that we just understood as the norm and said, hey, we're going to tell you when server time is. And they did that this update. So even when they were mad at their children for stealing, they still gave us a gift. They were still nice. When you're done. Remember that the guy I did a Q&A with a long time ago? Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Where's that chat? The Cathion guy. It was Cathion. So at that time, Onigiri was like subletting the game to this Cathion company, and they were going to add a whole bunch of like NFT shit, but I was like, well, as long as it makes the game better, it's fine. Like, if you guys are gonna add all the this other shit, like, can we tell you like the other shit we actually want to fix this fucking game? And like, I did that whole interview with them, and we talked about the state of things, and then that just fizzled out. That was gone like a fart after Taco Bell. It was gone. And Cyberstep's like, I don't like what they're doing. That's our baby. Give me that back. I'll treat you right. Oh, Onigiri, I love you. I shouldn't have given you it. And they took it back, and they started giving out surveys, and they started changing shit for the better. And they had their fucking their midlife crisis. They were visited by the 3 ghosts of Onigiri, Xbox, Switch, and EU, and they visited them in the middle of the night, and they all cock-slapped them in the night and said, you get that fucking game back, and you do it right now. Huck poo. Right, done. And they said, we want it back, and they fixed it. So, yeah, exactly. They've been better ever since. So, those guys were Cathion guys. I told them everything I wanted in the game, and, well, we see some of it, but not really a lot of it transferred. I still want password protection on my character. Like, to this day, I hate that the delete button is fucking on the main screen. I think I was watching a video or something about Diablo, where it was either Diablo or Destiny, where like if you wanted to delete a character, you had to like hold a long press on X or like the confirm button for like a minute in order to confirm you wanted to delete something. And even then, it took like 5 days to finalize because of buyer's remorse and people making split-second decisions. And I want that for us. Like whenever somebody, like, for the characters, like, if, like, that delete button, like, password protection, like, I already told you guys, if they put password protection on the delete thing, I'm literally smashing my head. I'm clicking on it. What password do you want to put to delete your character? Bam, slaps keyboard. I don't fucking know. I don't want to know that number. I don't want no one to know that number. I don't want to know what that is. And then they'd be like, please confirm. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I can't, because I don't want to know what it is. I just don't want my character to have a chance to be deleted. Okay? I don't. Like, I want that as an option. Right now, that is a great fucking point. So we joked about this earlier. In the advanced settings, you can display money panel, and you can choose to not display it. It goes away. When it's not displayed, or you used to be able to display lucky boxes and stuff. We can display information panel. I don't know what that is. Display quest navigation. Display status. Mini map goes away. When the mini map is not there, when we do not display mini map, I cannot click on mini map. It does not exist. I cannot click on any of its buttons. It is literally gone. What I want. What did I put? Quests? Fuck that. What I want is, in this menu, I want two things. Number one, I want something, because I already turned off the chat. Like, I don't want to see the chat all the time unless someone messages me. So what I want is, I want to toggle here to shut off the character delete button on the main screen. I want it gone. I want it not displayed at all. That'd be perfect. And then the next one is, I want a toggle to turn off, do you know you have a mount when you enter the dungeon? And they say you cannot change mount. I want that message gone. Like, I agree, I understand. I click on it 1,000,000 times a day. Whenever you run something, you have to like double click X, double click no, yes, 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 all the time. That's like, yeah, I get it. I get the concept. Get rid of it. Like, if they could put in those two toggles, world peace. You're good. It's great. The game gets better. Like, that stuff shouldn't exist. Like, they have this stuff here. They just need to expand upon that. Like, for some, like, confirmation menus, like, get it gone. That would be a really good idea. Maybe even turn on the long, hard press to delete character. Put that there, too. Sure. Whatever. Because accidents happen. Like, I've dropped my controller before, and, like, it clicked on delete character. And the menu popped up, and I just went over and I just, like, shut the PlayStation off. I was like, I'm not touching anything. I just shut the PlayStation off. Like, that was, like, super scary. That was, like, that'd be horrible. So those are, like, two things I think would be great to add to the game. Anyway, hopefully they're thinking of something to fix the situation on Steam with the bazaars, because obviously taking it away was, like, there's no solution apart from taking it away. So hopefully they're trying to fix it. And like I said, if they implemented bazaars can only operate off of paid OC from both players, that would probably fix it. Because the people that are buying stuff want to buy stuff to make their account better. They're not going to risk themselves, like, and charge back shit. Like, they're not the ones that you're worried about. You're worried about the ones that are disposable. Making a fake ID. Basically, it's like taking a fake ID, getting out a loan, giving the money to somebody else, and then the person becomes a missing person because they never really existed. That's literally what that is. So that said, I'm going to get on out of here. We've been talking for 2 hours. I hope you guys appreciate this. Please fill this up with comments and talk about it and give your opinion on it. Anything at all. Just say hi. Doesn't matter. And I'll see you guys in the next one. The game is getting an update for PlayStation next week. Super good event for Spear. Hopefully I'm going to get some accessories. And I'll see you guys then. Throat's getting sore. And yeah, it's been a good one. Smarten up. Stop buying stupid shit.